Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Michael, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm well to quite well.
What's going on my left over here?
Yeah, we got Douglas in
Look
here.
at that poops, Douglas.
Hello, boys.
The room
How
does
are you?
feel a bit smarter today, doesn't it?
It does.
I just feel
Markedly.
like a relaxed, stress-free.
He's still here, so I can't say that for sure.
But he's not in control of anything.
Yeah.
He's not clicking anything.
Yeah, we got Douglas running the big machine. Thanks
Yeah.
for joining us, sir.
Yeah, hey, Douglas. Look at
How
that
are you guys?
tall, handsome, cheating son of a bitch over there. How are you, pal?
I'm great. How are you?
Very well.
Good.
Should we cover the cheating right off the
Oh,
bat?
I mean, it's the elephant in the room, Jay. It really is the
It's
elephant in the room.
It's really not, because there was zero cheating that happened.
This was curling, of course. Going back to the Detroit Curling Club. I don't know, when did we do that? Like March or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. Went curling. Douglas joined us. Merck joined us, and
Marisa.
Yeah, and it was It was the Detroit. It was me,
you,
Mike,
and
and E against Douglas, Merck, and Marisa.
Right.
And there was controversy. Oh, there was controversy.
Only because
Well-
you lost. Only because you lost.
Well, it was stolen from us. And if you know anything about this show or its members, we don't win at anything. We are,
Nothing.
perpetual losers. And
we
so
fall just short.
just
many
short.
times.
It seems like, this is going to be the thing. This is the
It
next
can look
step.
promising
It
at
looks
times.
promising at times, a lot of times, and then it never goes.
Yeah, it's
it
sort of
doesn't-
the Lucy moving the football.
it just
yeah.
sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is. So we take it very personally when it's like the win was there and then it's ripped out from under us. Stolen. And it's so that we still have a case of the red ass over it. Sure. Yeah, we
All
do.
right, to replay basically what happened. There was in the game of curling, which by the way, I'll reiterate, is awesome.
Fantastic.
If anybody has a
It
chance
is.
to curl, it's a lot of fun.
I think he's a member of the club now. He was going to pay dues.
I was
sent an
granted full membership after the win.
You
Full
what?
membership after
were?
I won, yeah.
Wow, not your whole team, just you.
Yeah.
yeah, he's the reason they
Seems
won.
like didn't who was the Kyle Mayer
Merck.
or Merck? Yeah, didn't Merck have
Doesn't even know who was there.
No,
Yeah,
but
he
didn't,
carried our
didn't
team
he
to
have
victory. I'm not going to lie about
right?
it.
I mean, he had
carried us.
the game-winning shot.
Merck sucked, and then he came in the clutch, which is what Merck does. Merck is a clutch guy, always has been.
No, let's
And it
be
was-
honest about this. I did not come through in the clutch. Remember, I had the
Me
final
either.
stone.
Yeah.
I had the final stone. I could have rocked the whole thing. I could have won it for us, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So ultimately,
Takes
but
a big man to admit that.
prior to that, there was a
We
stone
didn't even.
thrown.
You know what though? We shouldn't have even been in the overtime.
Good
I
point.
agreed.
That's
because
the-
of what we're about to reference.
Right,
There
yeah.
was a stone thrown that was in question. I mean, it was close. I'll give Douglas that.
It was
a close
in,
call.
but it was close.
It's close.
Very,
so
very close.
what happens is there's a tool, which I guess none of us really knew this tool existed, but we were kind of.
Well,
being,
I've watched, and honestly, I've watched Olympic curling a lot,
Yeah,
so
so you knew this tool
I
existed.
knew this was going to come out here. The freaking you set it up in the middle. You know,
It kind of
it's-
reminds me of the what's the not a
compass.
protractor.
A compass.
What's the thing in like
compass.
algebra?
No, he's talking about something different. It's
no,
not a
it's-
protractor, I don't think.
not-
It's,
It's a
a
protractor.
compass where you put the needle down and then you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a compass?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No,
it's called
you're
a compass.
You thinking of
I'm thinking of a protractor. Whatever.
doesn't
It's
matter.
irrelevant.
Anyways,
either way.
one thing sticks in the middle and then it measures out right from the middle, and
Yeah.
that is used to verify whether a stone is inside the boundary wherein it could be counted as a point.
The problem is the stones are a little bit round. They're rounded a little bit, and so when you're looking down at them, you've got this ring, and it's like if that stone is touching that black line,
Yeah.
it counts. And so our question was,
There you
I
go.
think it was you.
Thank you, Douglas. It's a compass.
I believe that
Douglas, you're excused.
one is a compass and one is a
excused.
protractor.
Okay, which one's the protractor?
The fucking compass is what we're talking about. You put the needle down.
yeah. I was. God damn it! Why are you always right? I hate you.
No, not always.
Anyways,
Usually.
So we're looking at this thing, and I specifically remember going, clear victory. We won. It's on the black line. I don't remember who threw that stone. Might have been you, Jay. Might have been E. But it was like clear victory. And so I'm going to celebrate with my team. We've won outright. It's over. Game over. I'm like high-fiving you. And we look back, and Douglas is all by himself by the stone, and he's going, I don't know.
He's doing his own measurement.
He's
with
doing his own measurements.
with his broom, right?
yeah.
Which,
And
by
then-
the way, he wants the stone to be further away. So
wants
if
it
he
to
were
be
to put
out,
a
yeah.
stick in between that and move it even a
Even
millimeter,
a millimeter, Jesus.
Oh, it was a cunt hair away from being out. And the fact is that millimeter difference.
Douglas,
meant
did your broom make
extra
contact
innings.
with the stone?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Lie.
not. It never was even close.
he has every reason to
There
lie.
was
though.
never.
It does. We
Seriously.
needed a third-party judge. I mean, I was all for it. I was not going to get near it, touch it. I just gave it the eyeball test. It was like, yeah, we
We
won.
called an official over. We called an
After
official
you
over.
done
After
your
you
own-
moved it.
Irregardless, called the official
Not a
over.
word.
It is not. But
Good point, Mike.
Yeah,
Great
I got to take my shots where I can get them.
Regardless.
regardless, called the official over. Got an official measurement.
Yeah, and it was outside.
Again,
there's
apple
no point.
tampering. That's like saying you juiced, then the drugs are out of your system 4 days later, and that's like, yeah, see, I was fine.
Yeah, calling a judge over after you had I mean, who knows the amount of time you had. I can't even remember how long I was celebrating with you guys at Center Ice while Douglas was by himself, just kind of, whether he kicked it a little bit or used his little broom handle.
Here's
I
the
don't know.
takeaway. You want Douglas on your team.
Yeah.
Douglas will fight
Yeah.
for you, whether on the
He's a
curling
winner.
rink
He's a winner.
or out there buying and selling houses, right?
Absolutely.
Douglas, was
Absolutely.
that a good
100%.
segue?
That is. That is. It's a great
Yeah,
sell.
I mean, there's something to be respected about the fact that he's willing to absolutely gut his friends for the win. You know what I mean? And he'll fight for you like that. If it comes down to like, no, you're getting $100 more for your house that you wanted, son of a bitch. I'm going to win this battle. So that's the guy you want. You
We're
don't want to
walking
go
over
against
$50.
him.
We're walking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Douglas, have you ever sung your own song?
I'm not.
Is that
I'm
kind of
not.
like, is that like Luther Ellis wearing his own jersey out in town?
Sorta.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you know what?
I
We
bet
need a
he's better than
three-part.
Dude, to have a 4-part harmony, we're getting close to the Eagles right now.
All right, gentlemen, shall we? We're gonna find our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Jesus. Doug, Doug, oh, Doug, Dougie, Dougie, Doug, Doug. Now's the time. Contact Realtor Doug Steinert. It's summer. Time to list your current home and go looking for your dream home. Real estate is moving. Contact Douglas today, 248-765-1781. He and the team at Century 21 Campbell will work to get you the absolute best deal on the sale and or purchase of your home. Doug's the man. He's easy to work with. Great friend of the show, obviously. He's sitting in today. Call him today, 248-765-1781.
We were talking about that Sacha Baron Cohen. We've talked about it a few times.
Yeah, Who is America?
Yeah, Who is America on Showtime? I guess it's not doing that well. Kind of surprised by that. 'Cause,
Yeah, I am too.
that's what I keep hearing. Ratings are bad. Terrible ratings. But I don't know. I find some
Do
of
you
the
hear him
segments
from a
funny
man
as
named
shit.
Donald Trump?
I mean, that's just what you do. It's like failing New York Times.
I know.
Terrible ratings. You know, but he
When
would
will
say
that
that about
stop,
anything.
by the way? I wonder, like, when that will stop. Like, even when he, like, let's say he doesn't win the presidency this next time. I can't think of doing things like that anymore other than that voice. Just like the best, the worst.
I use the best words. That's my favorite. I know the best words.
best
What?
words.
You use the best words. Fuck, that's awesome. Oh, who says that? Anyway, I've heard the ratings aren't great for it, but it's on Showtime. It's not like it's on a regular station that everybody just has, you know,
Right.
with basic cable. So maybe that has something to do with it. But we were talking about that little town in Arizona, Kingman, Arizona, where he had that group of people, and he's like, yeah, we're put $380 million into your community, you know. And,
Like, no,
with
no,
this-
no.
They're like, hell yeah. And he's like, with the world's biggest mosque outside the Middle East. And like,
Nope.
what?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
What? These white people are like, fuck no, terrorists? As soon as they hear mosques, they just think terrorist. And now the town is kind of getting their asses handed to them now. Little town of
Oh,
Kingman,
no.
Arizona.
How do you hand a
Yeah,
town
right.
its ass?
Right.
They're just
Social
getting
media.
They're getting butchered in the media.
Yeah.
And people
But,
are
like, is it
what
a
the
tourist
fuck?
area? Like, if it's not a tourist area, like if Milford, Michigan all of a sudden was this, oh, well, what would happen? Like,
Well, not much, but
No
officials.
one wants to live in a racist community. Okay?
I get that. But
Well, some people
the
do.
race is already,
Racists
yeah,
do,
the
but-
people that,
Is it any coincidence that E mentioned Milford, his hometown?
I don't live in
Of course.
Milford, actually, but
Blacks only on
As
TV.
the record stands, Isis, you're a racist. Would you like to correct the record? We're asking you
that's,
for the second
I'm
day
not,
in a row.
I'm not giving into that bullshit, so.
Wow.
I mean, that is
Wow.
sidestepping at its best. Does not want to acknowledge the problem that is sitting there. I mean, I guess we could just launch every day, start every day, and just give him the floor.
Give him the chance.
Let
That's all
him
we
take
can
it
do.
if he wants. That's all we can do is.
Go Blacks!
Present him the opportunity. What he does with it is him. You know, he is the horse. We've led him to the trough for water.
So as of episode 1101, E is still a racist.
Yes, for the record. Anyway, and so this town is like, now we're promising change. Officials are promising change.
that
now.
right?
Officials are promising
I
change.
read that. I was like, officials
How
of
so?
Kingman, Arizona are promising change. Because that looked like a class of people there that were not interested in changing.
How so?
You
Is
know-
he going to go to that dude who's like, we already got blacks, that's enough? Like,
Yeah, the one
and
goes, "We're lucky
personally,
to have blacks in this town.
Well, imagine what the ripples that sends through a chamber of commerce.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, man. I mean, just trying to make a living here.
they're
and-
worried
and
about
then-
like just the Labor Day or Memorial Day or whatever, the fair coming up, you know, or a state, city, you know, shit like that.
And you don't want your community labeled racist. Just ask Howell.
Yeah, I was just going to say Howell. You know, was it
Right?
the Klan capital of Michigan, a lot of people say. Isn't that the.
Yeah, I mean,
knock?
you mentioned Howell, and a lot of people, at least in Michigan, think, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
bunch of racists.
I don't know where you're living at home. You want to be with your own, huh? Anyway, city officials were not happy about the depiction and the public outcry. Look, I'm sorry. They're doing the same thing as all these other people. Like, I was duped. I
Yeah.
was tricked into doing this show. They said it was for this. And it's like, yeah, but you're the one that said, we don't even want black. Well, under protest, do we have blacks here? Like, nobody made you say
Dude,
that.
unless you're being tricked into reading off a paper in another language, and that language is then interpreted
Yes.
into racist, discriminatory language, you are not being duped, dude. Those words came over your lips. That's insane.
That's funny you say that. Didn't that happen to someone at the World Cup? Like, there were a bunch of, like, French fans with...
Like chanting
a
something.
yeah, and they've got this girl. They're like, yeah, say this. And she's like, yeah, da, da, da. I hate ends.
Ooh.
And or whatever she was saying.
Yeah.
Something horrible. And they're like, oh, man, thank God she didn't know what she was saying. Because,
Wow.
you know. But, yeah, these people... Kingman said the segment has led to a reckoning and has spurred efforts to be more racially and religiously inclusive.
Kingman has found its bottom.
So they're shrugging, but shrugging this off is not going to be us. We're going to use this opportunity to keep moving our community forward
Absolutely.
with the help of
community leaders.
fucking damn right community
Yeah.
leaders, and stakeholders, and community leaders.
This little town.
There's like 30,000 people, I think, 1%
30,000.
black.
How many?
30,000.
How many?
I can't
God,
believe
man,
there's that
that's-
many. I'm looking at how big it is.
Like, how's that
It
compared
is,
to like
it is along Route 66.
Okay, so it could
Yeah.
be a bit of a destination town, right? I mean, because you're blowing through
I
the
guess,
desert
yeah,
for
I
a while,
suppose
you
if
want to
you're on-
stop for gas. Not stopping in Kingman.
Well, like if you were bragging about Michigan, you might get, the UP, yeah, we got the Great Lakes, Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior, you go, all this stuff, it's great. They're like, we've got a dazzling history along Route 66. We've got a weekly farmers market we're very proud of, local produce, and residents are not uniformly racist. That's what they said. There's a farmers market in town. That's pretty cool. You should stop by and see that.
Wow.
Yeah, so nearly 89% identify as white only in that town. I don't know how you identify as white only, but they do. African Americans have been long been a minority, totaling just over 1% now.
Census information, right? I mean, you identify.
Yeah, I know, but when it says identify, I guess I'm throwing it into like trans discussion. Oh, I identify as white. Yeah, identify as white. Kingman cannot accept that. The one guy. This is my favorite exchange, and this is the part where they're like, "Yeah, we really got to push back on that." The one guy's like, "Oh, we're lucky to even have blacks in this town," and he's like, "Yeah, you are lucky. That's very inclusive of you." And the guy's like, "Oh, no, that's not what he meant. That is not what he meant."
I didn't mean we're lucky to have them. They're lucky to be here.
The guy actually was quoted. He's like, what he was trying to say here is there are black people in Kingman who are not welcome either, but we tolerate them.
Oh, shit.
Oh, dude.
Stop
You
digging,
know you're
my
on
friend.
camera.
Stop digging.
Oh man, the city addressed the tension. We do have African Americans applying for leadership positions with the city.
You have black friends.
Yep, they're applying for positions with the city. That's good. The city manager is
I
planning
think some
a
black people are
resolution-
going to get some jobs in the city commission. I think those guys are going to.
So he says we're coming up with a resolution to recognize National Hispanic Heritage Month. Anyone cool with that? Everyone's cool with that, right? And also, we're also intending to hold an event for Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday in January. So,
As he says, we have black friends.
got black friends. It's 2018. We're going to recognize this Martin Luther the King guy. Malcolm 10 is next.
Shit.
Shit is right. Oh man. God, I'm excited for football season to start. I am so not excited to churn into the fucking taking a knee discussion again.
Right.
I'm so, dude.
Just ignore it then.
I can't do
Just
that.
record the game, watch the game, and then turn it off.
DVR it and blow through until your team snaps the ball.
Yeah. Maybe that's what
Fast
I gotta
forward
do.
again.
It's,
That's how I watch football.
it's just the whole thing is so dumb and misplaced to me. That's the problem. We've talked about it before. It just seems like misplaced the way you're doing it, and there's absolutely no chance of like overall fixing the problem that you claim to be kneeling for, like racial injustice on the planet. Like, okay, well, there's always going to be assholes and dicks. I mean, so we'll just knee forever, okay? But Jerry Jones has now come out and said, no, everyone will stand toe on the line for the anthem. That's his stance, and otherwise he'll suspend them.
He kind of had an in between last year, didn't he? Didn't he like kneel with them before or something? Like
He was arm in arm, I remember, during an anthem.
It was during the Arizona Cardinal and Cowboys game at play, and it was just after Trump said something stupid on a Saturday, and everyone went, "What? This is bullshit!" And like the next game happened to be like that Sunday night.
you have
or
to be more specific.
Monday night.
Trump said something stupid on a
inappropriate.
Saturday.
What? Maybe
No,
you
I
guys
do
could
remember
find
that.
it.
Yeah,
there was something
Douglas
that
is right.
blew everybody up all over
Yeah,
again.
and so he felt the need, like, all right, I better.
Fuck, the whole country's acting like we're, and everybody's watching us. We're the next national televised game, and it's like, what are you gonna do about this? And so they made the decision to come out before the anthem, take a knee.
Yeah, before, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and then they got back in line and stood. That's the only protest the Cowboys have done, though. No player has taken a knee on the Cowboys.
Okay.
And Jones ain't having it. He's just like, go fuck yourself. No. I know this is not in line with the way the country feels. And seeing entitled, wealthy athletes kneeling about that, you're wrong.
bad form.
It's bad form. It's disrespectful to the country, whether you agree with it or not. And I'm the one motherfucker that's getting hit in the pocket for this. When we
That's
see
really astounding.
declining sales and ticket sales and all that kind of stuff. Trump demanded on Twitter that the commissioner, Roger Goodell, suspend players for a whole season if they take a knee more than once. What the? What are
Why
you
do you get
talking?
involved in something like that, man? It's just crazy.
It's just so bothersome. I know that the guy, the Giants co-owner, Steve Tisch or whatever, he was like, hopefully he'll have much more going on in the future
Yeah.
that he's going to have to deal with and should deal with and must deal with than worrying about what the NFL players do. And I kind of agree with him. I understand why Trump got involved with this, and it's kind of an easy one. America. Like you're gonna get a lot of support from people over that, but it just seems so dumb. It's like getting into an argument or singling out a celebrity. It makes you sound
Rosie O'Donnell
small
or something.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you have an annual physical to make sure you're healthy. What do you do each year to make sure that you remain financially fit? Our friend Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial specializes in thoughtful and objective investment guidance designed to keep your finances in shape. Call him today, 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark. Isis, did you have something to add there to the Merc read?
Yes. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Thanks,
Got
Jay. I really appreciate it,
All
man.
this time, he's read it so well and perfectly. Every
did, one
single
time.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
Nailed it.
Nails
One
it.
take E. One take E. The harder the words, the better he does.
I thought it was recorded because I normally
the best
listen in the
words.
car. I thought it was recorded
No,
the entire
it's
time.
live,
He
man.
reads
Yeah,
it
it's
live
live.
every time.
Right.
This is not Memorex. This is live. You won't get that reference. Where do we stand on Matt Millen? I know I believe you.
Oh, my
You've
God.
worn
I
a
don't
bag
even-
over your head several times in protest of
I
him.
don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was awful. I mean, that's some of the darkest days in Lions history was the
Is that the darkest stretch in Lions history?
Yes.
won
Honestly,
16.
I mean, that's
He
The
picked,
worst stretch
3
of the
wide
worst team,
receivers in the
possibly.
First round, 3 wide receivers in the row, top
was-
7
yep.
or something.
there was Rodgers, Mike Williams,
Roy
Roy Williams.
and
Yeah.
then Calvin was one of them.
Was
Yeah,
Calvin
Calvin
one of them?
was his last
Calvin
pick
was
as number 2. Yeah, he went number 2.
Was that
So-
really his last pick? Were we up in arms about that? Like, again, dude? Really?
No,
Take
and I
a
remember the
receiver?
Raiders took what's his name, the quarterback that shit the bed, and it
Oh.
was
Jamarcus Russell.
yes,
Yes.
Big
That's
Jamarcus.
right.
it was like thank God they
LSU?
took him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
LSU.
Yeah. Well, we're supposed to pray for Matt Millen now.
Yeah, apparently he needs a new ticker, huh?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
well.
looking good.
He's a human being.
I know.
For God's
I was
sakes, man.
actually wondering where because E is like there are certain things that he draws the line. He's got very bright lines. Millen is one of them.
Yeah.
Millen is like fuck that
He
guy.
has to see a penis in his porn.
Yes.
In order to stroke his penis to completion.
Yep.
There's got to be a penis involved. And Millen. Fuck that guy. Those are
Fuck
two
Millen.
bright
That's-
lines for you.
Yes, and so it's like I'm reading this. It says pray for Matt Millen. Even if you're not religious, pray for Millen in your own way because he needs it. E.
Okay.
So do all of us in Detroit. So do all of us. We need closure from the Matt Millen.
Does this mean he
saga.
won't be on the Michigan football games
No,
anymore?
he's still doing those.
Oh my God! With a
What? He's still
Yeah.
planning to do the Big
So I have
Ten?
to pray.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Now here's where I feel like I can say this and not be a total asshole. I have to pray for him for his heart, but he's still going to be working. If he has a real heart problem, then he should be taking care of
That's a
that.
good point, E.
Yeah, well,
Even Urban Meyer
mean-
took a few years off.
Right.
yeah.
For his
Then he
health reasons.
drove his family crazy.
He's had 38 rounds of chemo this year alone.
Oh my God!
yeah, no, whatever. Nah, whatever. But no, don't pray for me. Whatever you do.
38 rounds.
Yeah.
I'll make a deal with Matt Millen. If he agrees to stop doing Michigan football games, then I'll start praying for him.
There is something bad. Like he's a smart guy. He's engaging as
I
shit.
know.
And everybody says the same thing. Like if you hung out with him, you'd love him. He's a great storyteller. He's funny. All that stuff. But there's something very smug about him.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like the whole like
And
hop on your Harley and drive
Yeah,
away.
and then there's this aw shucks kind of thing about him too. Oh, I'm just a big dumb football guy with
Yeah.
my, with
But
my,
he- but
with
he
my
knows it's hot
Converse
shit.
All Stars, with my suit coat.
Oshkosh bagosh
He's like a fucking
overalls.
politician, man.
Yeah.
I'm just doing some woodworking out in the barn.
Well, that was
Right,
dude.
there is
All
kind
the
of a
bullshit
politician.
thing that he didn't live here, and my biggest thing always
he would
was,
go to Pennsylvania after,
Right.
like right after the games,
dude,
right?
in the press conference at the beginning is like, I know I haven't done this before. It basically was like, if I find that I can't do the job, I won't do the job. You know what I mean?
Wasn't he the president of the organization?
President and the general
Dude,
manager.
there's a lot that goes into that. Like people just think, oh, he's picking play. Like you are the president of a company.
Yeah.
This guy had never run it. He was a linebacker.
He was.
He was a good
Pretty
linebacker,
good one.
albeit.
Yep.
But dude, he was the president of a multi-million-dollar corporation.
And he wasn't
See,
sticking around.
We
You're
throw
right.
that around. Like, what does that mean? Like, you're in charge of the
operationally. You're yeah, everything.
Break it
dude.
down. What does that mean?
Well, you know what? I came to that realization when I did some work for the Tigers and realized that Dombrowski was not just the GM, but he's the president of this organization. And when you're dealing with employment issues for the Tigers, you are sometimes dealing with Dombrowski in terms of ticket salespeople and things
Yeah,
like that. Like
merch and
yeah, I mean,
cleaning crews
He's the
being
guy
hired.
over everything.
Yeah.
and
And that dude was going to Pennsylvania.
Talk about over
every
his head.
fucking-
He couldn't even do the GM part right. Pick
Right.
the players. He couldn't even analyze what a good player was, let alone
Or
run
the
a company.
coach.
Yeah.
You know, your job is to find talent and get a coach that can work them. He couldn't do that. And people at the time were like, dude, you just made him, I think it was interim GM or what did they say? But yeah, he was GM and president. It was like, dude, that's literally 2 full-time gigs. Like full-time gigs.
Yeah.
And you have been in a booth for the last 8 years. And before that, you were a Hall of Fame linebacker. Like, how on earth does that prepare you to run an organization as big as an NFL franchise?
Clearly doesn't.
I'll
Yeah.
always remember the
He
one.
says, "Oh, I'll admit now, I might have been a little over my head."
Oh, really? Maybe. I always remember the one time I went when I had my season tickets. He was there, and I went with Chubbs. And so if I went with Chubbs would drive, and I could have a few beers.
Sure.
And they had just announced like he got that 5-year extension. Remember that?
Oh,
Like he
out of
literally
nowhere, too. It was like, what?
And I was wearing my Lions hard helmet, and I was a little buzzed. And they lost another game. I walked out of the stadium, and I go, "Fucking extension? Are you fucking kidding?" And I took my hard helmet and I chucked it down the fucking street. I was so fucking pissed. I just couldn't even comprehend what
Don't
had just
tell
happened.
me the hard hat cracked. Don't tell
No,
me.
it didn't actually.
Okay,
I still have it.
withstood that. Good.
You did? Oh, you went. And
It was like down
retrieved it?
Brush Street, maybe. I'm trying to think of what those. I'm trying to think which one of those
You
streets
can't
are.
tell us a story about chucking your hard hat and then going and getting it.
Retrieving
Well, I
it.
chucked
Come
it.
on.
Well, I chucked it down the road, and
Did
then
you
as
feel
I-
like a dick then, having to shuffle off and go? Oh,
I
gotta
kind of
go
like that hat.
get my hat again. Hold on.
Not
Hold on.
really.
Hold on, Chubbs. I'll be right back. I gotta go retrieve the helmet. I just whipped
I
down
may or
Brush
may not have
Street.
gotten in a fight with not a fight, but an altercation with a guy, a ticket attendee or whatever. I'm trying to think of the name. Usher going in because I had the Fire Millen shirt, and he tried to tell me I couldn't wear it, and I was
Yeah.
like, dude, it doesn't say fuck on here. There's no penises.
Yeah.
Like I can wear a Fire Millen shirt. He's like, no, you can't. I'm
God,
like,
and them chasing guys around the stadium
Yeah.
who are
And
holding signs.
did they make you like
It's
turn it
insane.
inside out? Or?
yeah. And then And then I just turned it back at when I walked in. But I was like,
Well, the camera crews were getting good at finding people in the crowd wearing a Fire Millen
Well, that
bag over their
became such a
head
thing
or
that it was-
T-shirt,
it'd
and
be
so
a-
they didn't want that shown on TV, the Lions and whatever.
Well, I was at that game when that first happened, and it's like, honestly, I really believe that the Fire Millen thing would not have became something if it weren't for this first time. This dude holds up this sign out of nowhere. It had not been a thing yet, and then all of a sudden you start seeing these security guards just racing after
Yeah,
him, and so
like
then the TV
Gestapo.
right, and then it became a thing because they knew that he didn't want to see it. Remember, it'd be like you'd go to Michigan State games or like Red
Go
Wings
anywhere.
games, Fire Millen.
Stopped at a light. Somebody hold up a cardboard sign. The homeless guy on the side of the road.
Yeah,
We'll work for food and Fire Millen.
fuck Millen. Was that even a hashtag? That wasn't even hashtags.
They're
Didn't even
probably not
exist
yet.
then.
No Twitter.
I still have my Sean Believed Fire Millen shirt when he came into Specs. the Millen
What,
Man
did he
March.
autograph it or something?
Yeah, he did.
The Millen
Deletion
Man
went crazy
March.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody did, and that's funny. You remember the signing, but remember how he did it? Because he had Old Man Ford, and it was just like he loved breaking down film with like he'd go in and be like, come on,
Now hold
come on,
on,
Bill, we're gonna go in the
Junior-
office.
Junior's the one who brought him in, who convinced Old Man.
But Junior's
to
also the
hire
reason
him.
he finally got fired.
I know, but
Oh,
it was
yeah.
Junior. It was considered a coup by the new generation of Lions fans. Was like, fuck yes, this means Junior's taking over. Look,
Yeah.
he had his dad's ear, and he got Millen hired, and it was, dude, to a man, everybody was excited about that.
Yeah, oh
You
yeah,
know? It was
exciting.
A very
news.
positive hire. That
Yeah.
wow, okay, finally, you're thinking out of the box. You're doing something different. You're going for it, and then
That's
boy,
true.
did it,
But
boy,
we
did it
could
go downhill.
We could never figure out why. Like, what is the deal? Does he have nude photos
Dude,
on the
that's just
on the
the
family?
Fords. The Fords are
I know,
insanely
but
loyal.
but the way
Right.
he
That was
did
a-
it was
that was a-
breaking down tape with him every Tuesday.
old man was like
sitting,
Trump.
sitting there with this 95-year-old man breaking down film.
Fonts did the same thing. They all knew very quickly. All you had to do was suck up to the other guy.
Fontes.
Yeah, or his brother. Yeah, Len Fontes would come in.
Fontes.
What's a guy got to get fired around here? The Buck. Was that his nickname too? Like
Buck stops here.
I had given up on the Lions during the Millen years, so it doesn't super resonate with me. But man, I feel for guys like E who had to live through that. That was,
Yeah.
so
Some
terrible.
dark days.
Me and my dad used to joke that we would, because I had season tickets for I think like 7 years, and it was all during those years. I finally got rid of them because they wouldn't fire him. Like I think we'd go through seasons, and he'd win 3 games in the year.
Yeah.
And me and my dad used to talk about it was like you just went into the stadium. Someone punched you in the stomach, and then you drove home. Like, it was quiet. When Hansen
It
would get to the
sucked,
40, we'd
man.
just start saying, bring out Hansen. Just bring fucking Hansen out. They're at the 40. Just don't
It
even.
was, dude, that's legit. Like, it was like, oh God, if either someone busts one and is like a 45-yard score, or if they get to the 20, they're not moving another inch.
Yeah.
So it's just like, just bring Hansen out now.
go
It's
to
second
these
down.
games,
Let's
it
just get that over with. He's money. We'll take our 3 and get into, and play
Dad,
on.
think about that.
It was
8 games a year.
brutal.
I might see 2 wins. 8 games a year.
crazy. So
And
is
you
this
couldn't even watch it on TV because half the time they were blacked out.
Oh, yeah.
You would never watch it on TV. I don't remember watching very many games in my living room.
Well, they
well, the
usually
Silverdome
did.
would get black, but once they went to
Ford Field's never
Field, right?
technically had an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every game at Ford Field has been quote unquote sold out.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
unbelievably.
they don't count. They don't count the club seats for whatever reason. That's not counted,
Huh.
or they say those are sold. Although I don't know, this is a while ago, but I don't know if you heard this. They had this whole thing about the Redskins recently, who said they've been on a 200,000 seat waiting list.
Not
for,
to interrupt you, but can I just? Is E yelling today, or is
Yeah.
it just?
I
Yeah,
keep pulling his mic down.
Ouch.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
Okay.
It's because I'm not
He's
used to this
excited.
mic. That's,
He is
no, it's because the
excited.
mic is not.
All right, finish your Redskins.
But I was just
thought.
saying. But I was just saying that it's came
Of
out
course, you're
recently
talking about
that
a racist organization.
Of course.
they've
Love Dan Snyder.
They've been saying for years that they have this 200,000 seat waiting list for season tickets, and it turns out they've never had a waiting list.
200,000
They've you could walk up and buy tickets for any game at any time, but Snyder was trying to do it
Why
just
would
to
you brag about that?
no, because
Falsifying the demand.
Well, he'd made these exclusive seats down in
Yeah.
the front row, and these are exclusive front
We've
row
added
seats.
these. What with our
And so to-
200,000 person waiting
Right,
list?
so to
I mean,
make people want to buy these.
I wonder how far he's gone to represent that. Whether that gets into the area of fraud, if he's telling investors and shit. You know?
Oh my, yeah.
Oh
you
yeah,
would
we've
think.
got 200,000 people. I
Don't
mean,
they say
people
that
love
with
the
Green
skins.
Bay too? Isn't Green Bay one of those where
I bet Green Bay is legit, dude. That,
that
town
town
is it's in the
owns
middle
it.
of nowhere, dude. It's just
Yeah.
it'd be like freaking Milford, Michigan having a football team,
Yeah.
an NFL football team. I
Yeah.
can't believe we're out on Milford twice.
So is Millen? Is he not long for this world?
Well,
he needs
Pete
a
King,
heart-
Sports Illustrated
Yeah.
writer, put it this way: the prognosis. We're down 13 playing defense, and it's getting late.
Jesus, sports analogies.
really
and
kind of glib.
Isn't it kind of glib? But
Yes,
even
kinda.
and down 13, I need to know how much time is on the clock. Like that, it's getting late. What the fuck does that mean?
yeah, if you're gonna give
Dude,
that,
if you give me 7 minutes down 13, I can.
You're
I
happy
might
with
not
it?
even
You're not
the
happy with
onside
it?
kick. I might not even need an onside kick to get back in that game.
Yeah.
You know,
Who's the
so
quarterback?
Pete King. I don't.
Joey Harrington.
Joey
well, no,
Harrington.
but like,
It's not looking good.
Yeah, that was Millen's guy. Go ahead. Joey Sunshine, Joey Blue Skies. There you go.
Or
Matt.
getting
Joey can,
Culpepper.
it'll be nice though if it turns unfortunate way for Matt Millen, maybe Joey can play the piano at the funeral.
There you go. Yeah. He says without a heart transplant, Millen will not be with us for long.
Oh man.
Millen
so he's
is
really
Millen.
going to spend his last days calling games away from his family and shit like that.
Jay,
I mean,
he's focused on living.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody confronts death their own way, but doesn't that seem a little?
How do you think Millen would be quoted confronting death?
Oh, well, if I die, I die. You know, sort of like that attitude.
Close. If I croak, I croak.
If I croak, I croak. Croak. Yeah.
If I croak, I croak. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Hold on. Excuse me. I gotta go hop on my Harley and get out of town.
Yeah.
You know, like that's
Morning Wedding's waiting for me on his Harley out front.
Pudgy Marty, right there. What was it? They
bar-
were so
the bar
disgusted
is
by the
fine.
play on the field at practice.
Yeah, they put their Harleys at the gates, ready to go, and then they lambasted the players on how they needed better effort during practices, and then they stormed off the field, jumped on their Harleys, and rode away.
So douchey.
Players and journalists are like, "Are you kidding me?"
Remember, what they thought was that people were going to go, this
Holy
is the
shit.
kind of change this organization.
Fuck yeah,
They're not putting up with
finally.
this. They're not putting up with these shenanigans on the field. And when they're disgusted enough, they'll get on their bikes and fucking leave for the day.
Those
No more
badasses.
terrible holding penalties anymore, right? Like all of a sudden now we're not gonna have false starts.
I don't coach that
I don't
stuff.
coach that stuff. I saw his dick.
You saw Bobby Ross's dick?
Yeah, oh yeah. Walk around the locker room
Wow.
nude.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't, right? That's the
He
follow.
was fine. He was fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually those old men have like huge pubes and just a little.
Oh, I didn't say it wasn't a blowout of pubes. You know, more silver than black. But
Salt and pepper.
yeah, very much so. The cornerbacks are the guys you want to, you know. Any
So the
the
guys to look
defensive
out for.
backfield are the ones you're like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Fucking
You're like 5'4". How is that possible? Seriously. How does the entire defensive backfield have
They're
that?
just sitting there lotioning them, two-handed.
It's like, why are you guys always the last to get dressed? What's going on here? It's just like the comfortable as shit.
Yeah,
you know, walk
they're in no
around.
hurry.
No hurry at all.
Just
So, which one of you ladies wants to interview me after the game?
oh, be taking interviews by my locker.
I'll get these underwear on eventually. Anyway, why would I think about dying? I got a lot to do. I got a lot of living to do
Yeah.
still. So he's going to be back on the field or
Why
for
would I
Big
think
Ten
about
games.
dying? Because you're going to die in the next few months, and you might want to plan for that. Say goodbye to people you want to say goodbye for. All
Okay,
sorts of
hot
answers to
shot.
that.
I got a lot of stuff to do. How about that for an answer? I don't have time to think about dying right now, pal.
Forgot he's a woodworker too, right?
Oh hell yeah.
God.
Got some spindles to finish.
Yeah, there's some. I want to read this piece that the Bleacher Report Dan Pompeo. I guess he did a great profile on Millen. There's been a couple of them, and I'd give him credit. I can't remember who wrote this for the Free Press today, but it's like, do yourself a favor and read it. It's hilarious, and he's also talking about how, you know, if you look a little deeper, it's kind of interesting that Millen has done these two big profiles now, like wants to get this shit out on the record before it's too late,
Yeah.
almost. And so that's the journalist's take on that. But he said-
Carlos Maneras from the Free Press.
probably, yeah. He said there's a piece in there about Millen trying to drown Jerry Rice in a puddle at Candlestick Park. I want to read more about that. He's questioning the intensity of Sean Rogers in this piece and his only vice in high school. What do you think his only vice in high school was? Most people would say, I drank too many beers, smoked.
Tried too hard.
Tried too hard, yeah.
Did too much homework.
No, his only vice was fucking teachers, man.
Well, how's that
Those fucking teachers.
That was his
Like
vice, was
Toiks.
banging teachers, yeah.
For like being serious?
Having relationships with female teachers.
What? Dude, that's
Oh
like
yeah, man, I was such a man's.
my
man.
one vice is I
fucking
got
half-
laid too much. I was,
Yeah.
like, my only problem was I was too good at sex.
So,
Dude,
yeah.
his vice is that he was having
It's just banging teachers. Yeah,
So you stand by that if we met him and if we hung out with Millen, we'd like him. You stand by that?
I think you would.
I used to
Yeah,
have a-
those guys are really like I remember. You might have even been with me, Jay, because they had to give the Lions one national game a year, you know, and it was like, Thanksgiving, we'll get our Thanksgiving game, but we stinks. We'll never be on Monday Night Football. And we had Monday Night Football they brought when the new stadium was done. It was like, give them some extra, national stuff. Were you there when Pat Summerall and John Madden were at practice that day? And they had these little bleachers, tiny little bleachers, and I sat next to Summerall and Madden for like 2.5 hours watching Lions practice with just, whoever was there. And Madden is the funniest motherfucker you've ever heard. He says cunt more than hello and the, like, cunt motherfucker. I don't know how that dude.
How it doesn't come out on the.
I'm shocked that it's like, never did you hear him like, oh yeah, fucking guy run, but it's like, dude, every other word out of his mouth, motherfucking cunt, shit, man, what a piece of shit this guy. Look at that, did you see that guard? Fuck him, cunt. And I'm
Is he
like,
dead? Summerall's
no,
dead, right?
I
Madden's
don't-
alive. Still riding in
Madden-
the bus. Is he
I
still
don't
doing
know that's
games?
true. No.
no. Madden is going through one of those changes. You know when you turn from human being to, oh, that guy used to be a human being?
Yes, I do.
I saw a thing, and he gave an interview for some piece, like the NFL Network will do these half-hour profiles on great players or coaches, whatever. And they did one on Madden. I think I was telling you guys about it the other day. And it was like, oh, he gave an interview recently, and oh, yeah, that used to be human.
God, didn't.
Summerhall died in 13.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Madden's still alive.
Madden's
Madden.
82.
Yeah, Madden was crying.
He used
at
to be
Summerall.
6'4" at one point.
Yeah.
God, he looks like one of those king penguins, doesn't he? Or emperor penguins. Those, I don't know, just the way his facial structure is, and he's got the eyebrows going up.
Yeah.
Always looked like an emperor penguin to me.
Oh,
Check
boy.
him out.
Yeah. Wait,
Mike,
that's a
you're right. I mean,
Cartoonish look, but
when you look at it like,
yeah. See, show Jay that one. Like,
Like-
can't you see where it was like, oh, that used to be John Madden when he was a human?
Yeah, he's
You know,
going through a
he's-
transition.
he's
You're
going,
right.
Yeah, there's a big transition going on. But dude, it's crazy. The guy's made it. I mean, how old is he now? He's got to be up
82.
there.
82.
82. Okay. That's pretty good for a dude that big, party that hard, swears that much. Anyway, see Betsy DeVos's boat, her yacht,
No.
got untied at the dock. These people, dude, that are just like, I hate the president so much. That's Betsy DeVos's boat. I'm gonna go untie it.
Oh, my gosh.
You know what I mean? Like, did you see the people take a pickaxe again to Trump's Hollywood Walk of Fame star?
Wow.
And smash that all up? It's like, can you children grow up? Really? Look what I did. I don't like his policies, so I destroyed his Hollywood Walk of Fame star. Cool. So you took a $40 million, 163-foot yacht.
Holy shit, look at that thing.
Yeah, it's badass. I would do better than the Sequest. You know, like
Yeah.
Tits 1, Tits 2. You know, like the Salt and the Brunei. You know that, like that's
I don't think that's the DeVos family
It's not
style.
the DeVos way.
the Sequest.
It's not
Alright.
the Amway way.
Yeah, but don't be. They did like 10 grand in damage because the boat just like sailed off and like hit a dock and.
So that's what a
scraped it up.
Ponzi scheme will get you, huh? I mean,
Fuck yeah.
Fucking,
Oh no,
Hell yeah.
she's got 10 of them. So that's just
what?
They've got-
She has a fleet of those?
They've got 10 boats. Yeah, this is a $40 million yacht. That one we're looking at. Yeah, authorities are reviewing some surveillance video, but yeah, 10 boats, dude, in the family. Holy
Sequest, did you say that was called?
shit. Yeah, the Sequest.
Dude, I noticed something the last 2 times driving to the west side that doesn't rise to the level of grievance. A grievance did not find me. However,
It sounds like it did.
I was struck by model names of fifth wheels / RVs. And I took a brief inventory of things like the Raptor, the Prowler, the Wildcat, the Adrenaline.
Oh, this is from the company.
These are models. Yeah, these aren't like
So-
people
so-
are naming their RVs. This is the model name. It's like a Winnebago Prowler.
What did it
are you
used to be
fucking
like-
kidding me? This thing's a goddamn dumpster driving down the road.
The Prowler.
It couldn't be less Prowler-y. You know?
Yeah.
It's-
What did it used to be, like Arrowhead or something? Like they
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying
mean,
to
there's
think,
the
like,
Jamboree, the Insignia, the Discovery, that sort of thing. But the Fury, the Renegade.
No.
The
no,
Renegade.
No. The Mad Max.
Like,
what are you talking about?
Is there anything like worse branded than calling a fucking RV a Prowler,
Dude, that is
a Raptor.
the stealth. That's hilarious. Like you're in a boardroom and it's like, guys, we got to come up with a better
Yeah.
name than Jimboree. All right, how
No,
about
we
want to
to appeal to the younger generation. What's cool these days? What's
Raptors
cool?
are always cool.
Okay, Raptors one. The Wildcat? How about a Wildcat? The Adrenaline. Adrenaline really
Just-
gets you going.
There's no wrong answers, guys. So we've got a dumpster on wheels, cooking down the freeway. And first word that pops your mind, go.
Phantom.
Love it. Go with Phantom.
Red Hawk.
Yes, that's what I think too. We're
These
going
are
Red Hawk.
These are real names, dude. I'm calling them out to Gab. She's taking notes. I'm like, Red Hawk, write it down. I couldn't believe it.
How many did you pass on the road?
It's summer, man. It's
Dude, you're going
summertime
up
in
the ra-
Michigan.
Yeah.
Summertime in northern Michigan.
Dude, that's hilarious.
But it did, like I said,
When,
it
when
did-
was the shift, though? When did we have these board meetings to go, we got to change
Douglas,
it. We need
have you
the Raptor.
noticed this? I mean, have you noticed these stupid models? Because it's not the brand name. The brands remain Winnebago, Jayco, that sort of thing. But
You're
it's
into
these,
this, man.
It's these models.
I've noticed the birds. It's always bird related. The Red Hawk, the Raptor, those type of
Yeah.
They gotta call it something, though. I mean, what would you call it?
Expedition. Or,
Okay.
you know,
something
I
adventurous.
like dumpster
the,
on
bound-
wheels.
the boundary is appropriate. You know, just or the
Yeah.
X2000. I don't know.
There you go. The F850.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Just number the shit.
The Raptor. Stop it.
And then one of them had like evil eyes. You know, like it had to be the Prowler,
seen that
right?
one.
Sure, I've seen
Yeah.
that. I've seen that logo too. The black.
What the fuck, man? There's nothing less cool looking.
Has anybody in the history of mankind gone, I'm on the fence about that, but you know what? It is called the Fury.
I
I'm gonna
wonder.
take
I
that.
wonder if they found
gonna
like
take
it's a like the
That looks,
Prowler.
doesn't that look intimidating?
I know, it's just prowling.
Yeah.
You know, just hiding, just prowling in the weeds. I wonder if they found like these things are family decisions where it's not just the dad and mom making the decision. You get the kids involved, and maybe
Yeah.
that one's cool.
I
It's
want a
called the-
Raptor.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe you're right. I could see because there's some out there like that. Calling that a prowler is an insult to prowlers. You know what I mean? I mean,
It's a box.
It's a
It's
box.
an aluminum box.
It's a box.
It's the least aerodynamic thing you could put on the
Yes.
road.
Yes.
And you're calling it the Prowler.
Yeah. This is
And there we go. The Raptor.
This is what you want to see driving on the road right here.
Now,
Raptor.
some of these, when you get into these like $2 million, $3 million, and they're basically a hotel on wheels, and they're just sleek.
Yeah.
If that guy wants to go with the Fury, you know, I'm the
I don't
Raptor,
even know. I think you.
know, I'm
I
like
think
a
you
Gladiator,
then, you
whatever.
then keep it classy and go like the Insignia or something like that. I don't think you get into these Cedar Point ride names. Honestly, the Mantis. No,
We're gonna
it's
see
a
a Mantis
roller
at some
coaster,
point.
man.
Yeah.
Whether you said it's a grievance or not, my ruling on this is old man.
Jesus, it's
personally.
not a
Like-
grievance.
He
so
didn't-
keep
he
your,
didn't declare a grievance.
Your thoughts to yourself.
You do not get to make a
It's an
ruling like this.
observation. It's all it is.
And it's hilarious.
Thank you, Michael.
It is. It's fucking
What a
hilarious.
shock.
Because no, dude, think about it. That's the perfect. Dude, it's a garbage dump on wheels. Why are you calling yourself the Raptor, the Prowler? Stop.
Because they're a
at the
company and they
Raptor.
think
Look
that
at
this is cool. That's why.
Luxury adventure that knows no limits. The Raptor.
Yes, you're the Keystone RV folks. You're
You're the Keystone RV company. Call it again the XL 200.
The Aspen.
Can we
The
see some
Aspen
RV
would be
types?
appropriate.
What? Click on RV types. Can you do that? You got to take the mouse and look at the screen. There you go. There you go, big boy.
Douglas.
Travel trailers, destination, fifth wheels. So what do we got? Ooh, let's go with the
We got a
Fusion.
Cougar, dude.
We've got a Fusion with a Z.
Come on.
And then I think we've got the Outback was one of them. Douglas is going so fast. We're used to a Tard sitting here, and he's slow.
Is that a Phantom? No, that's a Raptor. The Outback.
Ooh, the Carbon.
Carbon.
The Impact.
You're
What do
right.
you guys think about the Impact?
Fusion with a Z. Fuzion.
Yeah, it's cooler with a Z. Everything's cooler with a Z.
Sure, it's not Fuzion.
Oh, it might be Fuzion. Now, if it's the Fuzion, I'm cool with that.
Kind of cool.
You know, you want to go with the XL 450 or the Fuzion? Yeah,
I can't believe they're named these things. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Jesus doesn't find it a problem, but okay.
You're an old man. Speaking of old men, E, you're a fan of that show Frasier, right?
Dude,
Wasn't that one of your
fucking
favorite
love
shows?
Frasier.
Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah. Did you watch
love
that?
it.
You know, here and there. I mean, I
Yeah.
know the basic characters.
I would have thought you'd got it. It was kind of a smug show. Wasn't that what
Hell
they were
yeah,
known
for
for? Is
sure.
their smuggery?
It was a few times like called like the smartest show on television.
Was it Jack the dog?
No, Eddie.
Eddie. Yeah.
It's a Jack Russell.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
if
you go.
you would have guessed Russell next, I would have just
Is it
shaking
a Russell
my head.
or a
S&M.
Jack?
Well, you were
NMH.
looking for the name of it, right? Not the type of dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was thinking it was Jack Russell. Yeah. It looks like that show might be coming back
What?
as a reboot, and it's not.
It's
I mean, you could
The
do
dad
that,
died, right? But everybody
Yes.
else remains.
And the dog. Don't forget.
well, the dog. I think it was a few different dogs throughout the series.
Yeah, but I think Eddie's dead. The original, right? It's 30 years
Yeah.
ago.
That's yeah. Well,
Yeah, he had his brother who
It
was like
ended
real
too-
smart. Right? They were both psychiatrists.
Yep.
Is that the deal?
David Hyde Pierce.
David
Yeah.
Hyde Pierce.
Yeah, who was kind of. He was not gay, but he kind of came off as gay. He
He was gay in real life.
Is he?
Is
I didn't
gay
know
in
that.
real life.
Is he?
I think. I don't
They were,
want
they were just very. They were just. I wouldn't. You're right. I mean, I guess they kind of came off like that, but it really was just more very smug. You know,
I
like
guess I'm
the
not
opera.
slandering him by guessing he's gay
came out in
because
2007.
Ooh, there you go.
really. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, it was.
You know what though? It's not slander because what's wrong with being gay, right,
no,
gentlemen?
No. If you even were accused of
I heard
slander,
he was.
that would make
I heard
you.
he was gay.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
No slander there. Nothing wrong with that. It's almost a benefit now.
What's wrong with that, E? Are you going to object to it?
I don't really care. No.
What's wrong with being gay?
I didn't say that. I didn't even respond. I didn't.
Are you guys? I know we've talked about this with other reboots. You know,
It's
do
weird
do
because when you like the show, like here, like when X Files came back recently, they had a reboot, and the first one they did was just 6 episodes, and honestly, I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And then they came back for the numbers were actually high enough that they came back for a second version of did another season of that, and I thought it sucked.
Really?
And so, just my personal opinion. But like, it's weird. Like, if you like the show, I guess I'm always interested. Like, I'll watch if they bring back Frasier.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check it out. But I don't know
I'm
how I
trying to
really
think where
feel
there-
about it.
Are there successful reboots that you'd want to see? Like, you wouldn't want to see Friends come back,
No.
or Seinfeld.
They pretty much already have done that. Curb
Yeah,
Your
I would-
Enthusiasm
yeah,
is Seinfeld.
totally.
But
Well, no. I mean, sticking with that cast specifically, you could do that, right?
Seinfeld could
Seinfeld, you
easily
could.
come back.
Friends, I don't think you could.
No.
No.
I don't think Friends humor would stand up.
No.
It would be very, very dated.
I watched a few episodes of that not too long ago, and it's like,
It
ugh.
doesn't hold up.
No.
I did too. I was like, oh, I remember this being funny. No.
Right, right.
not.
Not. Oh.
Um,
Joey.
Yeah. How you doing?
How you doing?
Like the notion that he had these catchphrases, and that his is like that. This guy's and I loved Friends. Just like honestly, I did like Mike. I had the whole
Is he
series
still
on
yelling,
DVD.
or is it?
Yeah, a little bit. A little piercing.
It's just that it's fucking the microphone. I'm not used to a microphone that actually is faced me. That microphone that I usually am
I
on
know.
is terrible. But the idea that they all have a catchphrase and that Joey gets laid all the time with just go, "How you doing?" and now he fucking this
Yeah.
nailing this chick, like,
If it were only so easy, right? Easy.
right?
So they're I guess Kelsey Grammer is sitting down with people and taking these meetings. He's interested in it if the right idea, comes along. And so some of the things they're talking about are adding a bunch of new characters. I don't know what that would be about.
Right.
And maybe changing the location. I guess they were Seattle. And in the finale, you'll
ends
remember
with
this?
them going to Chicago.
Chicago to
Yeah.
hook up with some chick, Charlotte or something.
Yep.
Yeah. And so they're like, oh, maybe it would set in Chicago now. Something like that.
I
I
mean,
mean, they
was
would
the
have
deal.
to.
He spun off. He was Diane's boyfriend on Cheers, right?
Yeah.
Was he Diane's boyfriend?
Yeah. And also, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He also
went
met
for
his.
the string.
he
Dr.
also-
Fraser Crane. Yeah. That's right.
He also met her and his a wife named Lilith on that show, which followed through into
Lilith, yeah.
Lilith was the
Lilith?
little, like, scrawny.
She was a little scrawny chick.
real pale,
Super
real-
serious, but I guess she was a sex fiend, right? That was part of the joke. Was She
Yeah.
was super serious, buttoned down.
Yes.
But
Totally.
Kelsey could get her going, right?
Yeah.
Frasier could get her going.
Yeah, hell yeah. So they spun Frasier off in
think he has-
'93. I think it's
right.
considered the most successful spin-off.
I was going to say,
ever.
I think he has a record for playing the same character because he was on Cheers for not the whole run of Cheers, but he was on there for a period, and then
Yeah. And then
Frasier went
11
se-
years.
yeah.
11 seasons, 37 Emmys. They say the project could move past the exploratory stage if the producers settle on a writer and a premise for the plot. Yeah, I would think that would do it. If you find yourself a
I would-
writer and a
yeah,
plot line,
right.
that would take the story forward. Yep.
I'd be very
Continue
suspicious.
discussions.
I'd be very suspicious of that, dude. I really, really liked Frasier, and I would be very suspicious of how good that could be at this point.
Yeah, he's. I guess he's been kind of feeling people out for interest level, but I think that show doesn't need. Like, he's just a nerdy. If the writing is funny and the jokes are there, he's a therapist. I mean, like, why
Yeah, I'm
couldn't
kind of
you?
not with you, E, on that one. Like,
that's
that
the
didn't
one
depend
show.
on like slapstick, like a
I
certain
get it. I'm just saying for
Kramer
me
type
how
guy or something.
but how it ended. I mean, Niles and Daphne were moving. The dad's dead now. He's going to Chicago for this girl. I don't know. It's just me personally. I love the show, and I don't think I would watch it, but I'd be very suspicious of that it could
Yeah.
be good. Personally.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you
I don't
know
know.
Kelsey Grammer's daughter is Summer on Rick and Morty? I
Really?
wonder if that helped her get that job.
Probably not.
No, nothing to do with it.
Nope.
She was just
Oh,
went in
Mary.
blind. Just
Oh,
God,
Mary.
I love her voice.
Yeah,
It's just it's
strong,
amazing.
good. I know. I see every time I see Pete Ducey on the Fox show, and it's like, God, he looks an awful lot like his dad Steve, who's on their popular morning show. I wonder how Peter got that gig at 20 years old,
Something.
right out of
That's
college. It's
something.
crazy. Actually, on a national network now. Cool. Jay, you'll be happy to know Chris Hardwick is returning after a
Yeah.
long, extensive, and I mean, we got lawyers involved, and had to figure out, is this guy a sexual creep?
Yeah, like a month ago, right, or two
Yeah.
months ago, his ex-girlfriend
Chloe Dykstra.
just dropped this bomb on him right on social media. Just
It's
like,
weird. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just remembering the basics about the story.
She works at a blogging site, Medium, and so she did this blog about an ex. She never named him, if you remember. And the problem that we had with the story was some of the things, you know, it was like, oh yeah, you just dated a dick. Like, why didn't you just leave?
Yeah, yeah.
And people were getting shamed publicly for even saying that. Like, oh, okay, you dated an asshole. Why did you stick around for 3 years? What the fuck's wrong with you? He didn't hit you. He didn't, you know.
Yeah.
He was just like, oh, I'm sober, so I noticed you had a glass of wine at dinner. You're not allowed to drink anymore. It's like, okay, if you don't like someone saying that to you and controlling you like that, fucking leave.
Yeah.
How simple is that? I was emotionally abused, and he needs to be destroyed now. Remember, it was also like, I couldn't talk in public because he feared that people would recognize him and hear us talking, and so we'd sit in silence at dinner while he was on his phone most of the time. All right.
Okay, your relationship sucks. Get
Yeah,
out.
Totally. Sounds like a shit relationship. He would be working really long days, and when he came home, I was expected to just be like in the bed, laying there waiting for him. It was like he would come in, he'd drop his keys on the counter, hang his jacket up, stick his dick in her hole, and then go to have some dinner and go to bed. Like, and that was it. I just had to lay there, sometimes in tears. I'm like, yeah, you're in a really shitty relationship. You should not be in this one. Like, that's what you should do, is not be in this one, because it doesn't sound fun at all. Oh yeah, but he's rich and he's on TV, so makes it harder to leave.
What was he on again? The
He's-
Talking Dead.
Yeah. So he hosts a few things. He started the Nerdist,
Yeah.
right? And I don't think he has any association with the Nerdist, you know, anymore.
Well, especially if you remember after that happened. Remember the nurse came out and said he does not do anything on the show or on the podcast or website anymore, and his
Yeah.
name is not affiliated with it.
Yeah.
Just based on the fact that this girl said that basically he's an asshole.
Yeah. Well, following a comprehensive assessment by AMC, working with Kagan Bierman of the firm Loeb and Loeb. Loeb and Loeb. We're the firm of Loeb and Loeb. Do you know the Loebs?
No.
Loeb
Lisa
and
Loeb.
Loeb.
That's all I know.
To Loeb and Loeb.
Loeb and Loeb.
One of
Anyway,
them has to use their other name. Don't like.
and let me be clear.
What if they're both named Loeb? E.
They are.
They
Clearly
have
they
first
are.
and last names Loeb. They can't
Yeah.
make it that.
The dad ear started the firm long time ago. Long time. Did you see what I did there?
Yeah.
Earlobe.
I
Anywho,
was just gonna let that go.
yeah, I had to circle back because I realized, oof, the dad earlobe. Wow, I was trying to think of another lobe, but Lisa and Ear,
That's it.
great firm, great team. But they say, make no mistake, the Loeb and Loeb firm, they've got this is what they do, so they're the ones that you need. They take the considerable experience in this area. What would that mean? What would that entail? Like, what would a lawyer's job be if I hire Loeb and Loeb and it's like, I think E is a creep, I need to find it out. Like, what are the lawyers going to do?
E is a creep, and you need to find it out. I don't understand.
Yeah, like if I accuse E of sexual harassment or being a dick or whatever, and it's like, you know, oh, so now you're the company, Radio for One Studios is going to hire Loeb and Loeb. Obviously, they're great at what they do. What would Loeb and Loeb do? Are they going to just like interview everybody in the
I don't know.
Building?
He hasn't been sued. I don't really know. Maybe they threatened the chick with a lawsuit, and they dig. I don't know.
No, but they're just saying like considerable experience in researching this type of thing, sexual harassment in the workplace.
Okay.
And so what I'm trying to figure out from a lawyer who's done that type of work, what would that entail?
Well, is he didn't hire her, right? I mean, they're in a relationship.
AMC wanted to know, can we put Chris Hardwick back on
Oh,
Talking
gotcha.
Dead?
Gotcha.
And so we need to find out if he's a dick face.
Yeah, they probably charge them a hell of a lot of money to do some Google searches on Chris Hardwick.
Right.
Because it has nothing to do, unless he's doing shit at work and they've got something to go on to investigate. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't they go to just a PR firm or something and say, hey, do some tests out there. What do people think? Well,
They literally just probably hired a private eye to dig into Chris Hardwick's past and figure out if he's
Yeah.
a creep and if they should hire him or not.
Yeah, or keep him employed because he was shelved, and it was like,
Yeah, if
ooh,
he's employed and there's no complaints against him, they probably had somebody go into his workplace and interview people around him that know him or managed by him.
Yeah.
And if none of them complain,
Well, this was the big thing because the show that he's a part of with AMC, The Walking Dead, Talking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, he does 2 separate Talking Dead shows that he hosts that are really successful. They're popular. The shows are really popular. It was like, they were like, oh yeah, he's not going to be hosting Comic-Con this year. And I was like, okay, that's cute, but what about the big shows? And it was like, well, he's not going to host this show. Like, yeah, that's cute too, but what about the real shows he hosts? Those are the ones I'm interested in. And so now, as we're getting ready to gear up for the new season, it's like, well, we did our extensive research, and welcome back to the team, Chris. And they're sliding him back in, and I'm like, cool.
yeah, it sounds like it was probably just a scorned lover, right?
Yeah.
Other things checked out, so.
Yeah, but they take these matters very seriously, Jay, as you know. And,
Yeah, if he were to be found to be harassing someone at AMC after all this happened, yeah, they could be in some trouble for not
Yeah.
doing their due diligence, right?
Yeah. I don't know. There were a lot of people. I read a lot of people online, things. And it sounds like there's a lot of people out there that think he's kind of a prick, but there's nothing illegal
There's a lot
about
of
being
pricks
a prick.
out there,
You know
dude.
what I mean? Like, not everybody's a nice guy. Not everybody, there are guys that use fucking chicks. Sorry. Happens. It doesn't mean you rape chicks. And that's not what I'm saying, but, I mean,
Yeah,
just being a dick in entertainment
kind of
is not
raises
new.
what the whole Me Too thing became troubled by is the fact that some of it was absolute sexual assault that was being complained of, some of it was workplace sexual harassment, and others was just boorish behavior.
Right.
Just guy being a dick.
Yeah.
Bunch of guys at a bar talking shit, and waitresses are walking by. Well, you're not being sexually assaulted,
Yeah.
right? There's
Sexually assaulted. No.
yeah, it's just
No,
it's
no.
boorish shit.
Yeah, you just ran into a pig. It's okay. It happens.
Heard a
You'll
little
be
bit of
okay.
locker room talk for a second there.
Yeah, sure did. You'll be okay. So yeah, remember she was the one too that was like, I wasn't allowed to have male friends anymore, and he made me take down all the pictures of males in my apartment, and she's like, the worst part is my best friend is male. She had to take his picture down. Man, I was like,
Even her gay best friend.
and I think at the time we were like, yeah, but dude, if I'm Hardwick, I don't want to walk into your apartment and just see like dudes all over your wall.
Do you guys know any dude who has a best friend who's a girl
No.
who's dating another guy?
wait, here's the thing.
not possible.
I know lots
not
of
possible,
Not
right?
possible.
I know
Fuck
lots
no,
of
it's not.
I know lots of girls that claim that they do though. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
know girls that say, "Oh, John is my best friend."
Isn't John gay?
And
No.
He doesn't
I'm
know
on,
it yet,
You know
but
I'm
yeah.
on your side on this,
Friend
Jam.
zone.
More than anything, I know. More
He's
than
either
anything,
gay
I'm
or
on,
he's in the friend zone and doesn't know
Massively friend zone.
Exactly.
Doesn't know it.
Friend
it's
zone.
the doesn't know it part.
it. Yeah, still
Yeah.
working on it, thinking he can get there.
Isn't that funny?
Glimmer of hope.
And when it's just like, dude, I just haven't figured out the lock yet. I haven't figured out how to unlock
And
this
E,
yet.
you've been there, right?
Oh my god.
I am so against that concept. It's unreal because I don't believe it. I always say this to people, and people, honestly, other people still give me hell for
He's
that.
still yelling.
yeah, a
Well,
lot.
I'm talking into the mic. Then lower my pot. You lower me
I
down.
can't make you any lower, dude. You're almost off. Look at everyone else's mic and then look at yours.
You can still lower it down.
Fuck, man, my ears,
How's
my
that?
lobes.
I don't know, dude. But well, I don't know, dude. I know you. I know I'm
Into
not,
the
I
mic, you
can't
son
hear
of a
me.
bitch.
I
God
know,
damn.
I
Jesus, E,
Be a
But
pro.
when I tell this,
Jay, you tell me where you're comfortable.
when I tell that to people,
I still hear
I
him.
get so many people that sit there.
Yeah, I
and
can still hear him.
Well, you're gonna be able to hear me even if the mic's
Yeah.
off.
I can.
E, start talking.
Blah blah blah. I don't know. I'm not gonna
Talk,
fucking,
man.
Okay,
Watermelon, rutabaga.
I still get so many people that will fight me on that, and what I always tell people is like, I don't believe that it's mutual. There's always maybe a guy thinks a girl is his friend, but really she likes him in reality, or maybe the girl thinks a guy is his friend and he really likes her.
Yeah, I've
I
never encountered
never-
it where it's like a genuine just friendship between the two. I've never seen it. I suppose it's possible, but I've
There
just
were-
never seen it where two heterosexual.
And it's
Yeah,
not
remember-
best friend. Not best friend.
That's a great. There's a difference, especially when someone's like, oh,
Oh,
my
you can
best
definitely be
friend.
friends, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
best friend, oh, he's my best friend.
Like,
Not
it's weird.
happening.
Like, if you're talking like high school years, college years, that's different when you have more people around you. Like, I remember hanging out. There were girls that it was like, oh, dude, for the summer we kicked
Best
around.
friend. Is it best friend?
No.
Can't be, right?
No, not if you want to bang her. Like, if you're like, I don't know, dude. I mean, because I would think, like, you and I hanging out as best friends I'm not going to feel obligated to buying you dinner and movies like I would with a chick. I'm sorry. I'd feel obligated, like, oh, yeah, I'll hold the door for her.
You know what,
I'm not
dude?
holding the door for you, Jay.
I know we've talked about it so many times in the show, and people can, have their opinions or not. But like for me, I always say it like this, dude. I can do everything as far as I do with a friend. Just do it with guys. When I want to have sex, that's when I don't try to take a girl out or something. Like I don't have any desire.
I think
but
the
if-
neighbors hear us right
you-
now.
if
I
it's-
honestly do.
yelling.
No.
If you took sex out of the picture, let's just say I had no desire to get laid. Let's say I didn't even have a dick. Then if I went to the fucking Faster Horses, why would I not want to just go with 3 other dudes who are just going to have beers and have fun? Why would I want to go with 3
Yeah.
chicks to Faster Horses if sex had nothing to do with it?
Well, E does not, like, E and I had a discussion about this a few months ago, and it was like, E, do you think women are funny? And we came to kind of the conclusion that they don't have to be.
Right.
You know, where guys have to be, look at my green thing. You know, I'm funny.
I think a component of what keeps guys hanging with each other is there's like there's humor between them.
Yeah.
And if you're hanging with a chick and there's no humor between you that bonds you like that,
Yeah, there better be vagine. If
Yeah,
that's not there,
I think so, right?
I mean, I'm putting up with her humor for the vagine. I'm putting up with her lack of humor for the vagine.
Yeah, maybe there's a couple unicorns out there who find each other and it could happen, but boy,
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Is it possible to escape the friend zone and really get in there and start hitting that shit? Is that?
I would love
Has
to
anyone
know if that's
figured that
possible.
puzzle out yet?
If someone knows how to do that, Eric at DetroitCast.com, let me know.
It's a serious question.
No,
though.
there's
I mean,
plenty of people
Yeah,
who do
it-
that, right?
yeah, it
Just
does
friends
that.
with benefits.
Well, no. But I mean, like a guy that wants, and she's like, "No, he's my buddy. He's like a brother to me."
No, I think
is
that does
has
happen.
anybody figured out how to open that lock and break through? Absolutely, friend
I think
zone.
it's a case by case analysis. I don't
It's
know that there's a,
persistence wears down resistance. That's a
Is that what it is?
concept.
Some people call
Wow.
it rape, but
it's a fine line between
Very
rape and
fine. persistence
breaking down resistance.
oh man, let's take a quick time out. And
Douglas can come back and tell us why he's not a rapist on the record.
that's right. and
Perfect.
he
so
will-
we have a rapist and a racist.
Yes.
And
Bill
give these
Clinton
guys
is a rapist and
both these
racist.
guys chances to rehabilitate.
No doubt about it. And Sandy Hook parents reaching out to Mark Zuckerberg. Saying, will you please do something about these fucking assholes that think our dead children were crisis actors?
Zuck has bigger problems on his hands. You see what happened in the market? He lost $16 billion in 2 hours yesterday.
Oh, no, my friend. He lost $18.8 billion. Yes.
Shit.
In 2 hours. He'll be all right. Anyway, we'll get to that story and more next.
Listeners,
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
hey TDC listeners, this is Kelly from the Hamlin Pubs inviting you to our 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pub's great food, drinks, and atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for a great night with that special someone, it's always a great time at our Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and our 2 Shelby Township locations. Hamlin Pub also offers party packages. We are the perfect spot for that rehearsal dinner, graduation, birthdays, or other events. For more information about our locations, including live entertainment calendars, go to hamlinpubs.com. Hope to see you soon, Detroit Cast listeners.
continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the show. Almost forgot it's History Day with Big E.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know anything about what he's doing. Do you have any?
I don't. He said it earlier, and it went right through me. I'm
Oh,
glad.
boy,
I'm
that's
glad
not a
I
good
didn't.
sign.
No, I'm glad I didn't. Really, it didn't resonate with me because
Yeah.
I like to be surprised by it.
Sure. We'll get to that in just a second. We should probably I mentioned the Sandy Hook parents, people, Newtown, Connecticut, shooting Adam Lanza, the weirdest looking murderer in the history of murderers.
Wow.
God, that gaunt face.
Yeah.
Creepy looking dude. But he murdered what, 26 people, 20 first graders and kindergartners?
Sounds about right.
And 6 instructors, I believe.
Or 0 if you believe the conspiracy theorists.
Crisis actors. The fuck is
False
a
flag.
crisis actor? And so anyway,
God, look at him, man.
it's the creepiest thing ever.
Those crazy eyes. Mm-hmm. Who couldn't see that coming?
Yeah. It's a pretty good documentary.
Yeah, let's buy that kid an AR.
Yeah.
Ugh.
His mom, we gave his mom a lot of shit, like having the guns there, but it sounds like she went, I watched a documentary on her, and people are like, you have no idea how hard she tried.
Really?
With these kids. I'm like, yeah, well, she still had an AR in the house, so, that part kind of sucks. But, she was one of these, like, super into her kid, like, trying to get this, autistic as fuck kid the help he needed, moving to get him proper schooling and blah blah blah, and and then he ends up wiping out all those kids. Anyway, this story just boggles my mind that you think of all the shaming that goes on when you just slip up and say the wrong thing about something. Oh, God forbid you say something, trans people or this group. Yet here's this story just sitting here where it's like, no, you're free to go online and accuse these families of lying about this, harassing these people, crisis actors, as these, like, I just don't understand why those people are not absolutely hammered for being like that. You know what I mean? It's so troubling. Like, they're fucking 5 and 6-year-old kids that were gunned down in their kindergarten classroom.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Awful story.
Anyways,
Awful. The follow up is almost equally as awful. Just
Yeah.
the fact that people are calling them actors.
Dude, remember
it's unreal.
the woman showed up to the memorial service. Like they'll have like a walkathon in memory of little Noah or whatever, and the families show up and they all got their T-shirts on, and they raise some money and stuff like that. And people are showing up at those, liar, 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 and these fucking. Imagine if you're the parents of one of these kids, like, you'd kill them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to fucking kill them? Like, you're a liar. Your kid was a prop.
Yeah. So what's the deal? Facebook is allowing these posts to be made, and
Yeah, they're not doing enough to stop it. And so there's an open letter to Mark Zuckerberg that the parents of Noah, 6-year-old Noah, Leonard Posner and Veronica De La Rosa, they're kind of big names, and you see them in the press from time to time, talking about Noah and blah, blah, blah. So I recognize their names. Anyway, they and other relatives of mass shooting victims have been harassed and threatened on social media and in person by people who claim the government hoax, false flag. Our families are in danger as a direct result of the hundreds of thousands of people who see and believe the lies and hate speech which you have decided should be protected. We are unable to properly grieve for our baby or move on with our lives because you, arguably the most powerful man on the planet, have deemed that the attacks on us are immaterial, that providing assistance in removing threats is too cumbersome, and that our lives are less important than providing a safe haven for hate.
where do we draw the line, Mr. First Amendment advocate?
Yeah, no, I know. I have no problem with the public shaming the shit out of these people or arresting people that are harassing them. I'd like to see these people arrested. If you're calling these people and showing up at their house with death threats,
What does Zuckerberg do in this instance, Mike?
I don't know. He's
What if you were him?
He's dealing
if
with
you
his
were
own
him?
thing right now. He's turning to you guys.
well, dude. I know you're trying. Well, I know. I see what you're trying to do right now. You're trying to trip me up.
I'm just
with
asking the
with
question,
my First
man.
Amendment thing because I've long
No,
said
no,
that.
no.
Yes, you
No.
are.
You're always like, you can't limit anything because if you limit one thing, then where's the line?
Yes, and who's to say what is offensive, this and that? I think there's a difference though in this is a tough one. I'll admit this is a tough one. It's not so tough when it's like, well, what about ISIS? What about Al Qaeda getting their speeches out and free speech? You should be able to watch their video. I'm like, well, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but those are training people and warping minds and shit. I don't have a problem shutting that shit.
So where do you draw
down.
the line at fake news, Mike? If this is fake news,
You call it fake news. They even dress that in their thing. Fringe conspiracy groups. It sounds relatively innocuous. Let me provide you with some insight into the effects of allowing your platform to continue to be used as an instrument to disseminate hate. We've endured online telephone, in-person harassment, abuse, death threats. One of the abusers was sentenced to jail for credible death threats that she admitted she had uttered because she believed in the online content created by these fringe groups. Several of the families have been forced to relocate numerous times because of the number of groups on Facebook that hunt us, posting our home address, videos of our houses online. We are currently living in hiding. That is shameful. So, yeah, while I'm, always the one
So
going...
this is
free
the one?
speech, I don't know, man.
Shut it down?
No, I don't think you can shut it down. What do you think?
Doesn't matter what I think. Mike.
Yeah, it does. No, it does.
No, I
It's a
wouldn't shut
tough
it down.
one. Yeah, I don't think I would either. And I think Zuckerberg has set precedent for allowing stuff about Nazi. What are the people that don't think the Holocaust was real? Holocaust deniers. And it's like, well, they're fucking assholes, but it's protected speech, So I don't know. It's a tough one. I just can't believe this story keeps coming around. And it's like, this is unbelievable that there are hundreds of thousands of people that are willing to get in these poor families'
What are you doing with your
spaces.
life? Dude, what is happening in your day to day? Like, assume you have a job. You know what I mean? You have some 9 to 5, and then off that time, you're taking the time to harass families about whether or not a shooting happened or
shit,
not.
man.
What are you fucking doing?
Yeah, I
Hit
know.
Netflix, my man. I mean, there's a lot of shit out
Take
there.
a walk, man. Take a walk.
Yeah, social media needs to be shut down. It's ruining all of our lives. It just makes stupid. Oh, here, I went to this concert 20 years ago. Really? Do we need to see this shit every day? No, you don't. Fucking don't look at it. I don't give a shit. I look at your stupid family photos and your fucking what you eat for dinner, dick face. Shut it off. Don't look at it. No one's making you. Get over here. You're going to look at this. Look where I was 20 years ago. Look at it. No.
Mike, are you about to come over to the side of fuck the book?
Fuck the book.
Fuck the
Oh,
book,
the
man.
book. Goddamn book.
Douglas, are you
It's
on the
not-
book?
I am on the book, but it's not just. It's like everything you look at is somebody bitching and complaining or an ad. Literally every single
Or
thing.
it's a highlight reel of what they've done, portraying them and their family as
greatness.
this.
Not
Yeah.
my
Great.
feed, Douglas.
This
My feed is
all-star.
all positive vibes, man.
Yours actually are, but anything we post is going to go one. It's going to be like, oh wow, I was there too. Oh, that's cool. Oh, it's cool looking back at this. Fuck Fady. And then it's just like boom, 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 and it's just like, just dive into the gutter and shit on Eric and shit on us.
As
And
if
by
the
the way,
whole-
you're fat.
Right.
And Eric's probably loves cocks in his butt. He's just like, oh god.
That's at the
Hashtag.
Bowling for Soup concert. They fucking suck. Why don't
Shit band, homo. Only you homo, would like them. What's
Yeah,
wrong with
me
being
and
a
you.
homo? You're acting like homo's the bad thing. Shut up, bitch. Social justice warrior snowflake.
Yeah.
their lyrics are trite? Well, who fucking cares? You don't have to listen to them.
I'm scrolling through 80 comments going, I just wanted to see if anyone else was at this show with me. Now I'm reading all about what a piece of shit homo Eric is. This stinks.
That's even worse. If Mike's posting photos of him going, I was at the Eagles concert 10 years ago. Get Eric off the fucking show.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what they're doing.
Hashtag fire Fady.
Hashtag
does
fire
this.
fat Fady.
He gets abused on Facebook. It's
He?
yeah,
Get
it's
outta here.
Abused, absolutely.
Is it
I
like
haven't
anything
noticed
you've
that.
ever seen?
It's the worst I've ever seen. It might
It's
be the
fucking
worst.
brutal,
It's
dude.
bad. Like I almost feel
should.
almost feel bad.
The thing is, he doesn't give a shit. He's literally the happiest person you'll ever meet. Seriously, he is. And so, thank God.
It's
Otherwise,
not working, trolls. It's not working.
right.
Try
You
harder.
have to come harder. You have to
Gross.
come harder if you want to get to it. So.
Anthony, Gabara, and the hottest sales staff in Oakland County are fired up about Zodford's summer sales event and the pimp-ass deals that go with it. Zodford has 0% financing for 72 months and up to $2,500 in rebates on select new Fords. Plus, at Zodford, you can lease the brand new 18 Ford EcoSport starting at $122 a month, or lease a new 18 Ford Escape as low as $137 a month. See details in their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com. Gentlemen, is it time for This Day in History with Big E?
I'd like to get my load on.
Sure. Douglas is going to pull over. I only have one image I'm going to show, I guess. For
Good,
for
I am
this
a visual learner.
But
Oh, Purple Rain! Hell yeah! Just a wisp of a man. Look at Prince himself.
Now, for some assholes out there,
If
they
that
wanna-
bike tips, he's not picking it back
Oh
up.
no,
Not a chance.
No, he's the French military member at that point.
Yes.
if some assholes out there want to look up and say it actually came out July 27th, well, it debuted in Hollywood July 26th. July 27th is when it came to the nation. So
What year?
in 1984.
1980. What a year, man. 1984. Honestly,
I know.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. March 7th specifically was a great part of 1984. And no, so anyway, I've never seen this movie, to be fair, but I just knew that it was a kind of a cool deal.
You guys ever see it?
Yeah.
I've
I
never
didn't,
seen
I didn't
it.
even know it existed.
You didn't know Purple Rain existed? Not a Prince fan.
Wow,
No.
I don't know nothing about Prince, but I knew this movie existed. Maybe just because of you two, though. I don't know.
Chicks fucking loved this. Was their jam. Like, do you remember, like, Prince coming to town when this movie came out? It was like, I don't know, junior high school
well, I'll
or
tell you
something.
this.
Every chick I remember being
He started
shit over it.
He
Must have
started
been
the
a
Purple
Livonia
Rain
thing.
tour.
Must have been a Livonia thing. Honestly, that it
Really?
wasn't-
No,
yeah,
dude, it swept the nation. That movie.
Well, he started. The
I don't
Purple-
remember like my friends caring about this. I'm just saying.
My friends either. I remember girls, not even girls I
I-
knew, like being like it was.
Well,
Okay.
you know what,
everywhere.
dude? This should answer
Lots
some
of
of
people
this.
went
They,
to it.
I'm
they
not
started
lying.
their- they
I'm not
started
lying
Lots of
about
people
this.
went to it. I know.
I'm
Well,
not lying about
they
this.
started the Purple Rain tour in Detroit after after the movie finally hit. They started moving
Because it was
Purple.
so huge. Chicks.
7 nights sold out in Detroit.
Was this one of the Joe Louis Arena? One of
might
the
have-
Not at that
thousands?
show.
Right,
I
I'm
couldn't
not-
get tickets. I
not
mean, it was so hard to get tickets because all the chicks in Metro Detroit
7
and
nights.
Michigan sold
7
out.
nights.
So some
Dude,
people.
that's a run. Where was he at? Joe
I don't
Louis?
know. I don't actually know in Detroit, but it started in Detroit. 7 nights in Detroit. Yeah, the tour he did for Purple Rain was apparently massive. Although he
Yeah.
quit it early because he just was done with it. But anyway, people said so. They said about this movie that it was literally a crazy situation because it had low budget. The cast had never acted before.
Yep.
The first time director and a star who did no publicity for the movie.
Yeah.
It cost $7 million to make. It grossed $80 million worldwide.
Yeah.
He didn't do.
Morris Day and the Time was in that.
Right.
What was that bird day? I'm like, what?
I've never seen it.
These were big songs. You should know
Are you thinking
the
of
songs from Purple Rain.
Not
and
Dove Cries, right?
When
Or-
Doves Cry?
When
Yeah.
Doves Cry. But the thing is, the idea that he had basically no actors with experience, a first-time director,
Mm-hmm.
a star who really only had apparently his 1999 tour had come off of this, and he had 2 hits. The ones that you have talked about it before, Red Corvette,
Little Red Corvette.
Little Red Corvette, and then another one. But he only had really 2 hits, and he just said, "No, I want to make a movie." And he was
It's
about-
basically the 8 Mile
Yeah.
of that time.
Really?
I mean, yeah, it was following his rise through the clubs in Minnesota,
he had a year.
opening for Morris Day and the Time, who
Right,
was
right.
a bigger act then, and then there's this, just wisp of a man, half nude on stage, and the chicks all loved him, and
He had a year left in his contract with this label, I guess, or whatever. And they were
Mercury,
like-
was he on Mercury? I think he was. Go ahead.
and they were like, "Hey man, you're out there with Prince right now. He's on the 1999 tour. It's a year to go here. Try to get him in his head like, hey, let's re-up. And he was like, I'll only re-up if you guys give me a major motion picture or you're fired. And it was like, not fucking third rate, not indie.
Yeah.
It's got to be major motion picture or I'm...
And he didn't really have the credentials at the time
No,
to
like I said,
make those demands.
He'd
It's
only
so
had
funny.
2 essentially hits. He hadn't had even a #1 hit yet. When Doves Cry is his first #1 hit,
Yeah.
that comes off this soundtrack, and he's just like, nope, I'm getting a major motion picture or else. And he just willed it to happen, essentially.
Yeah.
So, and as Mike, most of the photography did happen in Minnesota, and the famous club that they filmed at First Avenue, they paid him $100,000 to have it for 25 days, to shut it down for 25 days, because they thought they had to film all these live scenes, and they're getting kind of late into the filming of this, and the one guy goes, they haven't done the live scenes yet. He goes to Prince, he goes, we're gonna, dude, we're running kind of late here, and they're gonna want to do a bunch of takes of this, and he's like, nope, we'll do 1 take per song. and they had the club for 25 days. They did it in a week.
Prince
Wow.
will do 1 take.
Yeah, that's it. I'll do 1 take. That's it.
hilarious. Who was he with? That was it Vanity or
Yeah, yep.
Apollonia.
And
Apollonia, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Vanity was going to be the girlfriend, and then she ended up getting a chance to do what was it? It was a Christian-based movie. I'm trying to remember what it
go
was.
with the Christian-based movie. Those are always hot. Very
fuck,
hot
where
movies.
is it here? But, God damn it, I can't think of it. But she was gonna be the girlfriend, and she went to do this other movie.
I think Nikki Sixx started fucking her too.
And then it starts. That movie gets backed up, and then it just
Doesn't
she
happen.
never ends up in it,
Yeah.
and then she didn't do the
Yeah,
movie.
it's critical when the fork in the road comes in life. Boy, you want to choose the right fork.
Apollonia, is that what you said?
Apollonia.
She was the one who did do it. You're right, and she was dating David Lee Roth at the time. But he did not.
and day.
He did not want anyone to know this, so he was like, "Do not tell anybody you are dating him."
Nobody is to know that my dick enters your mouth.
Well, he doesn't.
Nobody.
He doesn't.
Under no circumstance.
He didn't want anybody to know that his co-star was dating a famous person. So she.
Oh, Prince? Prince didn't want that out
Prince
there?
did
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
want anybody knowing that she was dating a co-star. What was I gonna say here? So the one guy that there's two credited writers for it, Albert Mangoli, I don't know how to pronounce his name, William Blinn. William Blinn basically
Bill Blinn.
wrote the first take of it, and then they took it to this other guy, and he hated it. It was too dark. He didn't like it. And so basically, even though he gets a writing credit on it, this Albert Mangoli basically wrote it. The guy who wrote the original script only has like 2 or 3 scenes in it, but he still gets a writing credit for writing the movie.
Sure.
I'm trying to think here what we got here. I thought so it was originally going to only be in 200 theaters. They thought it was going to be a bomb because they had no
Box office take worldwide. What
80,
was it?
I already said it. 80 million.
80 mil?
Which equates to what today?
I'm not fucking. I don't care. But they did not think it was like they just were like, dude, this is gonna be nothing. No one
was
knows who really.
huge.
No one knows who. But the studios.
Yeah.
They're gonna put it at 200 screens. They test screened it in California. It goes ape shit, and they're like, okay, that's all well and good for these kids in California. But they're literally like, we need to have this go down to Texas with redneck white people.
Yeah.
And see how they react to it. And apparently they fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Enough to get it down to 900 screens.
Wow.
But they had no faith in this movie. John Travolta was almost in it.
Really?
Why? How?
Because they just thought that Prince had not a big enough name. No one knew who he was. They
Could
felt
you imagine they make Purple Rain with, hey, John Travolta.
we're thinking Prince isn't enough of a star to hold this movie, and wonder if you would consider John Travolta for the role.
Yeah, he would have been coming off the hot shit with Saturday Night Fever. Was that in '79 or something?
I mean, I'm not sure when that movie was, but when Prince came to the movie, he gave the director 100 songs to choose from as far as the movie. Although
100 songs.
Purple
Dude,
Rain,
he's
That
apparently.
just speaks to the amount of shit that's in his vault right
We've
now.
heard though, that like he would write 100 songs for a record and then whittle it down to 10.
and Purple Rain was not even in that 100 songs. They just when they did when they were doing kind of these live versions in that club, the director heard him sing it. He's like, that's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
But when Doves Cry, the director chose to be like as the first single off the, what do you call that? The soundtrack of it. And Prince's managers were like, I don't like it. It doesn't have a bass line. They didn't think it would do anything, and it ends up being his first #1. So it just shows you, obviously, time and time again, the executives versus creative who tend to have this feel
for
towards
sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to think here. There was actually some real interesting stuff. Oh, Prince, a few days before it, Prince had a dream that Siskel and Ebert fucking hated it, and he had this dream where they were tearing.
Princess had a dream.
They were tearing his picture up.
Prince just had a nightmare. Sorry.
And it turns out they fucking loved it.
Did they?
But he had this dream that it was a nightmare, and that they didn't like it. One of the production assistants.
Siskel and Ebert. Remember back in the day when
Yes.
people would rely on Siskel and Ebert to
Yeah.
tell them whether they should see a movie? Give
Gene
me a fucking
Siskel
break.
and Roger Ebert.
God, those two.
The original movie was going to be called Dreams. When William Blunn did it, he
Bill
was going to
Blunn,
call
sure.
going to call it Dreams. That got changed, obviously, as I said,
To what?
to Purple Rain.
Oh,
to the main,
okay.
to the main title of the movie. I'm trying to think here.
I'm actually shocked, Jay. I can't get over the fact that you don't remember this thing being huge and dominating that summer of '84.
I really don't.
Wow.
I obviously.
You're usually on the. You have a good
Yeah,
memory.
I
of
never
pop
saw it, and I
culture
didn't have any
shits.
friends that saw it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you remember
I'm
this?
shocked. I think you'd like it. Maybe
this
not
ring out-
now, but
Does this ring out a bell to you? A scene where this chick was dumped in this cold water or something?
Yeah.
They really did that in Minnesota, and she got hypothermia. She almost got hypothermia
Nice.
from it, and then they had to reshoot it in L.A. It opened November 4th, or what? Never mind. It was the soundtrack to the movie was
Huge.
#1 for 26 straight weeks.
oh yeah.
Although when
That's what
Doves
I remember too. And then he had a massive hit too, didn't he, with the Batman movie
Oh, yeah.
soundtrack after that? What was the song he did for that?
The Bat Dance or
Bat
something.
Dance. Oh,
That's
Yeah.
the Batman that's really awful, right?
Well, it brought Batman back into the fold. It really kind of served up superhero movies
Who
to
was
us.
who was Batman for that?
Yeah, it
one?
was Michael. What's his
Keaton?
name? Michael Keaton. Yeah.
That wasn't a bad.
And then Jack was the Joker.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
I'm
that-
thinking the next one. There was one that was.
Oh, you might be
horrific.
thinking of Clooney played Batman and Val Kilmer
Val
played
Kilmer, yeah.
Batman in that same chunk of Batman. But then Dark Knight Rising came along, had a whole different
Changed everything.
tenor.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that first Batman that Prince was heavily involved in
Yeah.
put superheroes back on the map in terms of,
Yeah.
or on the map in terms of movies.
But they were a different flavor. They were more colorful and poppy, and
For sure.
You know, whereas the Dark Knight, you know, like as you to your point, changed everything with how dark it was, and you know, more badass. And
Yeah, well, it was done by what's his name, who worked a lot with Jonathan Depp. Tim
Not
Burton.
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton
Really?
did the first Batman, so
No
it wasn't like
shit.
super poppy and colorful, but as compared to the Dark Knight, the tenor of it was definitely lighter.
who's the chick in that one? With
Vicky Vale, it was
Michelle, not Pfeiffer.
nope. Michelle Pfeiffer played Catwoman in a later one. You're thinking of Alec Baldwin's
Yep.
prior wife.
Was she the one with not Kidman?
No.
Oh fuck, whatever.
Well,
Doesn't
I will say just real quick, going back to the girlfriend Vanity, she was going to play Mary Magdalene in The Last Temptation of Christ, Martin Scorsese's biblical flick that got delayed because of financing, and then her part went away. So it's fucking. And I think she basically broke up with Prince over that too because he was so mad that she left him last minute to go do this
Yeah.
piece.
How do you keep Mary Magdalene's role out of the?
Well, no, she probably just cast someone else. It just says Vanity's part in the production was eventually scrapped. Oh, so maybe not. I don't know. And then one more thing I was going to say that I thought was kind of funny was they were the cast was basically because they weren't actors and they were kind of out of shape. So Prince insisted that they get into these dance classes and like be mandatory, like they were taking dance lessons and shit. And after people started complaining about exercising to Jane Fonda videos and making jazz hands, Prince eventually stopped making them mandatory. But like
Wow.
he was making them do these like dance classes where they were just doing Jane Fonda videos.
There's some videos out there that just came out not long ago that are of those days. Prince rehearsing like in his basement with his band, like the 1984 dance, and it's just there's no crowd, nothing. He's working on his mic stand
all the
tricks.
moves.
You know,
Sweet.
it's doing his twirls and hoping to catch the mic stand at the right time. You know, it's like, oh, he had to rehearse this a lot so it looks normal on stage.
Anyway,
They're funny videos. You can search them out. They're
it
actually
out.
really cool because they're just home movies. You know, in Prince's basement.
Kim Basinger.
There you go. In basic.
We do have some email, Mike.
Yeah. What do we got?
If you'd like to write into the show, send us your thoughts to email@detroitcast.com. I want to mention devoted listener in Florida, Scott, writes in looking for some help for his proops.
Oh,
He's
no.
got a GoFundMe.
Oh no.
The GoFundMe is
What happened?
he needs to rescue Mozart. You know,
What happened to Mozart?
Mozart has some cancer.
What?
Yeah, poor little guy.
Mozart.
Canine cancer. And
Oh,
so
man.
Scott and his wife are looking for some help for their beloved golden retriever.
Oh, he's only 7.
So we'll put the link on the show link, and if anybody can help out, that'd be good for old Mozart.
Look
there.
at little Mozart poops with the droopsy eyes. Look at him sitting there with his mom.
Poor guy.
Oh, man, I've got a lymphoma. Can you guys give me a hand with my lymphoma? I'm only 7. I got a long life to live yet.
dog years, 7 isn't
What
No.
is dog years? Like 7?
7 to
So it's
30.
49.
middle age.
Yeah, I'm 49 now, but you know, need a little hand. Give Mozart a little hand, trying to get rid of this lymphoma that I got.
Melissa writes in concerning The Godfather and shopping. Hi, boys.
Hi.
First off, The Godfather 2 is the best. You might even want to try watching the trilogy in the order 2, 1, 3, or forget 3 altogether.
Yeah.
Because Sofia Coppola is a horrible actress in desperate need of rhinoplasty. But spoiler alert, it is kind of satisfying when she gets taken down outside the opera house.
I was just about to watch it.
Yeah, I just remember sitting in the theater. I've
Despite my
never
hate
been
for
so
the first
bored in
one.
all my life. Like
Really?
it was so slow, and it was like I guess I probably should have seen 1 and 2 first. But fuck, is this bad?
And it's Christmas Day.
Yeah,
You're sitting
yeah.
there on Christmas Day watching that
Yeah.
movie. Second, Mike, I would like to assist you in shopping and not being a dork. When I turned on the YouTube feed the other day and saw those plaid cargo
Oh,
things
come
you called
on.
shorts, I knew you were in need of help. I used to be a stylist at an upscale store on the south side of Somerset, so I'm
Ooh.
qualified. Says
Well,
Southside.
who is this? What's her name?
Melissa.
I like her.
Let's meet there and get you some adult shorts, and may I suggest some denim since fall is fast approaching. If you're a good boy, she's not saying denim shorts.
Okay.
Just saying denim.
Wait a minute.
If you're a good, I know where your mind was going. If you're a good boy, I'll get you fries from Chick-fil-A.
I like Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Maybe we can even stop at REI and get you some Pranas. They are actually cool in an outdoorsy, athletic sort of way.
I'm not into Prada. I'm not spending that kind of money on Prada shorts.
Prana. If our schedules don't match, may I suggest you go into Nordstrom, find the gayest male salesman, and hand him your wallet. Bye. Winky face, Melissa. P.S.
Somerset's just so expensive.
P.S. Macy's is a shithole now. It's nothing like Hudson's used to be, so please stop referring to it as upscale or high-end.
Who did that?
I don't remember anyone saying Macy's is upscale or high-end.
Any of us would sit here and talk
I could
about
see Mike saying that, like, well, I got him at Macy's, and that's pretty
No, I
good.
wouldn't say that. I mean, that's where I go to shop. I didn't know
sure-
I was a loser, but I wouldn't
I'm
say
sure
it's
out of
all
the three of
upscale.
us, it's you who said the word Macy's.
Oh, I might have said Macy's, but I wouldn't have said, oh, it's upscale. But Somerset, everything in Somerset is kind of upscale.
I have a question. Do you remember people being excited about Godfather 3? Like, the fact that it came out 72, 74, and then 90, like, were people like, oh my God.
No,
holy,
I don't
like-
remember that at all.
Ed and Jay and I
Like-
were, but
No, I'm just curious, because it seems like, was that just flat out a moneymaker that they were like, yeah, remember we did those Godfathers back in the 70s? I guess we could do one of those again.
No idea.
So what's the next step? This chick, when am I meeting her?
I'll forward you the email, and you'll have to check your email.
Step is up.
I always check my fucking email. Stop doing that.
Good. Then I'll forward this to you, and then you can take it from there. I don't want any part of this.
You'll probably.
I
be
don't
in
want
the
you
friend
involved
zone.
anyway,
Good.
so you can stay right where you
You
are.
asked what the next step was. I'm
Yes.
telling you. Here you go.
Thank you.
Boom. Forward. Yeah.
Like,
Walters
I
at
want you involved in my
TroyCast.com.
shopping
The
excursions
next
with
step
Michelle.
is a dick pic, I think, is the next step.
Yeah, no kidding. Isn't that how that
Dude,
works?
Sacha Baron Cohen, when he was talking to Dick Cheney, he's like, he's like, mind if I get a quick dick pic? And Dick Cheney's like, yeah, go ahead. He's like,
Fucking
yeah.
awesome.
He's like, can I send you my dick pic? He's like, yeah, go ahead. He's forwarding it. And I'm like, dude.
How do people turn off their brains when this guy comes in the room? It's amazing.
He's like, I wanted less Bush and more dick. You know, when you were, he's like, yeah, like a lot of people. He's like, did your wife want more Bush or more dick? And he's answering these
How
questions.
Can you not hear that? I don't.
And he's like, so tell me more about the time you shot your friend in the face. I mean, dude, you know what you're doing. That was on purpose, right? He's trying to high five him. He's like, I swear to God, I did. And he's like, what were you shooting at? That he's like, quail. He's like, you were trying to shoot President or Vice President Quayle in the face? Oh, it's fun. It's funny exchange.
What I remember that too is the guy who got shot came out with a statement apologizing for getting in the way of his bird shot.
Yeah.
It's like, I shouldn't
My
have been standing
fault.
where I was, and the vice president couldn't have known I would be there, and
Right.
it's all my fault.
I think it was
What
one of
the
those where it's
fuck?
like, I'm following this quail. I got him. Boom! Just bird shot right in the guy's face.
Hey, we'll save the rest for Monday, but Douglas, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Douglas.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And everybody give Douglas a call, man. 248-765-1781.
1781.
There you go.
He knows his number.
Have you enjoyed working with the Detroit Cast family?
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Has it?
Pleasure.
Have they treated you well?
They have. Everybody has.
Yeah,
Everybody's
no one's
treated
fucked
me
you
well.
over? Tell me
Not yet.
if they
Not
have. Jay and
yet.
I'll take
Not
care of
yet.
it.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Jay
I
and I-
really do want to get E into his own place. Like, I think that's my next mission.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, get E. We could even write up a contract here. He could pay rent, live here in the basement.
Yeah,
I
let's
think
not
that's
do that.
definitely
No,
that's a great plan.
I'm looking
Dude,
more.
I'm
for
thinking it'd be
Ferndale.
more fun to have him
Bravo
move into
Park.
Jay's house where you got the kids. There's a
You'd
whole
have a full-time
angle.
babysitter. It'd be
You would.
perfect.
Full-time babysitter.
right.
Yep.
Right.
You would turn into a full-time babysitter, Jay. Oh, man. Well, thank you for coming by, Douglas.
I
You're welcome
appreciate it.
anytime.
Thank
And
you.
let us know if anyone's a dick face to you. Jay and I will take care of it.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
You guys good?
No, I was just doing this.
Settle some scores.
Right.
All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.